Saloon Cars Racing proudly presented by Rightway Industrial, Bailey Brewing Company, Fox Roofing WA, Adrenaline Performance and Fabrication, Word of Mouth Signs, and Auto One Morley. Round 4 of the WA Sporting Car Club Championship proudly lubricated by Valvoline.
Welcome back as we see our saloon cars sitting down there in the dummy grid, and it will be Gary Hills in car number 93 that grabbed pole position in that qualifying session this morning, an extended qualifying session to allow some drivers to do a driver change and both drivers to be able to have a look at the circuit and get the feel of what it's like out there. I can tell you that it's definitely lightened up a lot. There's no rain happening at the moment, although it does look a little bit dark over towards the northwest, so maybe we may get another sprinkle of rain during this one. Alongside him on the front row will be car number 49 of Brock Bowley, then Jackson Callow on the second row with Clark alongside him. Third row will be Robbie Marcon and Vince Chiella, then Michael Coverstein and Daniel Karukin, Tyson Sadler alongside Reg Ralph, then Craig James and Nick Lorcan, Anthony Game in car number 40 who had the off earlier today, Rick Gill in car number 81, Parham, he also had an off in that earlier one, Andrew Martin, Justin Chaffee, Ken Power, and rounding out the field is Peter Dybel. And yes, I can see Peter. So he's having another busy weekend as well, competing yesterday alongside Justin Chaffee in his Commodore in the time challenge event. As our cars are now leaving pit lane. How's this for a puddle down there on the exit of the pit lane here? Yeah,
you'd be wanting to drive around that, that's for sure. You don't want to be going through that, and that's what all the drivers are pretty much doing. And so this is going to be absolutely spectacular. We've got in-car camera for this one in car 36, which is Tyson Sadler's car, which is the one that's painted up like the Kmart racing team Greg Murphy car from the mid-noughties.
Just coming onto the screen at the moment and leaving pit lane. Then behind him was car number 41 of Reg Ralph, 10 of Tony James. And right down towards the back is Justin Chaffee, Ken Power and Pete Dybel in the Ford Falcon, car number 63. We'll be rounding them all up. A good field, although still missing a few. We no longer see the cars from Bunbury from Martin Engineering, unfortunately, with Grant Johnson and Matt Martin.
No, neither did we see the black one that was the ex-drag racing bike.
Yes, Sean Arthur.
Sean Arthur as well, which was also, I believe, prepared by that team as well. Adrenaline Motorsport, I think it was.
Unfortunately, our in-car camera inoperable for this one, unfortunately, so we won't be going on board for any laps in this saloon car race.
That's a shame, but nonetheless, I'm sure that the outside cameras will be showing some pretty tricky running going on there. I just saw Craig James in car 10 coming out of turn 1 when he left the pit lane, well and truly sideways, heating up those rear tyres and getting a bit of temperature into them. So he's a guy who's worth watching.
We're just watching them come across the top of the hill there at turn 5, and they're all lighting up the rears trying to get a little bit of temperature in them. There's a few little burnouts and some skids happening down there. Robbie Marcon throws the Rick Gill Motorcycles Ford Falcon sideways.
Now, Robbie Marcon was a guy last season was right at the front pointy end of this championship and really, really competitive, and he seems to have slipped down to the lower part of the top 10 in the last couple of events. So be interested to see if there's been a problem with Rob Marcon's car or whether there's something funny going on somewhere, but let's see if he can make his way back towards the front of the field as well in this one.
And we mentioned earlier that we haven't seen Brock Bowley at the circuit for quite some time, but he slotted straight back in and put the car on the front row with Gary Hills.
Absolutely, and we don't have Mason Harvey out there this weekend either.
Mason's over east running in his little Aussie race car.
Rightio, so that's where Mason is this weekend, so we're missing Mason, which is a big shame.
And although the WA muscle cars are not racing, Chase Hoy also had a good day yesterday over on the east coast as well, driving the WA muscle car number 77.
Yeah, very talented young man is Chase Hoy.
It looks like that car may be staying on the east coast for the remainder of this year. And as the Hoy family work out their racing commitments for next year, it's obviously over there now, and the plans are afoot for young Chase to step up to the National Series in that car. So good luck to the Hoy family. They're a great bunch of people.
They are indeed. And
remember Byron's old Ford?
Big Momo Ford.
Yeah, the big Momo from the Eastern States. That car used to rocket around here.
Yeah, absolutely. And always well driven, always well prepared. And it's the same with Chase's cars, always well driven and well prepared as well. And it's going to be interesting to watch his career unfold as he takes on the guys on the Eastern Seaboard. So we've got a green flag about to wave at the back of this field, this big field right the way back down to McCracken House. And Grid Marshal just having a look down the centre of the cars at the moment, about to wave his flag, and there it is. So we'll await the red light to come on, and when that extinguishes, we'll be away for the first event today for the Saloon cars.
Brought to you by Rightway Industrial. Thank you very much for supporting the category again in 2025. Red lights extinguished and away we go, and it looks like Gary Hills is going to get a good start. Look at Vince Chiella and also Koberstein coming from about the third row. They got the best of the start. Vince Chiella moves all the way from P6 up to P2 before they get to the first corner.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant start from Vince, and he's looking around the outside at the moment of Gary Hills and might even take the lead here. Hills gets the power to the ground. A little bit of a wriggle at the back of the car, so Hills has got the power down. And have a look also there at car 225 of Jackson Callow, getting very sideways there through the puddles. He's got, I think that might be Bowley on the inside of him as they head up through turn 4. Bowley a bit sideways.
Leaning.
They're all looking for a bit of grip up through there. Still side by side back there also between, I think that might be Marcon and Clark. But pretty safe start from everybody, but a sensational start by car number 12 of Vince Chiella.
He's just been overtaken by Brock Bowley down into turn number 6. So Bowley now up into second and Vince Chiella down to third. And Gary Hill sideways during the mid-corner there. Everybody looking to try and get some power down without going into wheel spin. Gary's got a good lead as he comes up and over the top of the hill for the first time. But the battle, Vince Chiella is not finished with with Brock Bowley.
No, he's not. He's just going to tuck back in again there as they all avoid that puddle on the driver's left going into turn 7. But a very, very experienced driver as Gary Hills. Did a couple of seasons over in the East in V8 supercar running as well, in some of the lower categories, category 3 of the supercars, and did quite well. But he's well and truly back here in the West in the Saloon cars where he started once more, and showing a clean pair of heels at the moment as they just begin lap number 2.
And Jackson Callow slipped back now. He's running in P5 at the moment. He's got a black car. That'll be Clark's in front of him. And now as I say that, Callow tries to put the move up the inside but loses the tail of the car mid-pack. Oh, there's a big puddle over there on the corner of turn number 2 as well. But Clark doing a great job out there from Callow. Then we go back to the Koberstein, Michael, and Robbie Marcon, Karukin, Reg Ralph, Lorcan and Gill.
Yeah, Reg Ralph having a good run in car number 41, and good to see. And so is Nick Lorcan in 47, also doing a great job there. And the orange car just heading into turn 4, just in front of Craig James. And then behind those guys, we've got Andrew Martin, Kenny Power, Justin Chafee, and Peter Dybel. And that's the field as they stand at the moment.
Our 2 leaders are running away with this one. Gary Hills in 93, right out wide, right outside of our camera angle shot from down there in turn number 6, and he's got Brock Bowley all over the back of them. They've got a good break on the rest of the field now, with Vince Chiella in 3rd place and Clark in car number 28 as they come down the hill, and it is absolutely bucketing down here at carco.com.au Raceway. What started off the race with no rain at all has now turned into a bit of a torrential downpour.
New race leader as well. We've got Brock Bowley having taken the lead now from Gary Hills, and we've got the cars coming down through here, all line astern, and just slowing right down now because of this rain that's just come falling down. A bit of a move happening down here in turn 1 as well, as we watch Clark going around the outside of Callow and able to pull that off as well. So a great move there from Clark. He's very sideways and he's all the way up. He's like a drifter. Heading up through the bus stop area there.
What a drive.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, and he had his boot well and truly into it. So he's a guy who's got webbed feet by the look of it as he heads up through turn 4. But at the moment the rain's slowly starting to back off again, but that very brief shower then certainly woke a few of them up.
Well, Michael Koberstein's all sideways, and I think that's Karukin back there as well on the way up to turn number 5. That'll be Robbie Marcon now behind Michael Koberstein, and then Daniel Karukin in the multicoloured car. And Vince Chiella still in third place. But every time Jackson tries to go for the inside run, the rear end of the car just breaks free.
Yeah, it certainly does. And looking at the front of the field as well, we've got Brock Bowley now making a bit of a gap between himself and Gary Hills as they come down once more to turn 7 for their fourth time. And at the moment, it's around about, just have a look as they cross the line this time. So Bowley's just crossed the line now. We'll have a look at what that gap is. It's around about, we don't have gaps at the moment, to be honest with you, but he's about 1.5 seconds a lap faster than what Gary Hills was last time. So it'll probably be around about a 2-second gap he's got at the moment between himself and Hills.
Chiella, Clark and Jackson Callow for third, fourth and fifth. Then we go back to Robbie Marcon.
Oh, Marcon sideways and getting very out of shape there and going onto the outside margin of the track as well. And that's allowed for the hydraulic car of Koberstein to get down the inside as well.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake.
And he's lost
sideways
it.
again.
He's lost it.
Ooh, right up and over the top. How's that for a slow spin?
What a magnificent catch as he's still trying to catch it there and he's out on the apron.
And he's only lost one position.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was spectacular. Some of these guys belong in the drift competitions, I think.
They certainly do. That car was super sideways coming over turn 3 and able to negotiate turn 4. Look at this. He's having another crack at Robbie Marcon as they head down in towards turn number 6, side by side into the entry. But I don't think Koberstein's going to be able to go under the inside here. And let's see what happens mid-corner and see whether Koberstein loses the car again here. VN, yeah, see there, she's sideways again. So maybe the condition of the tyres not as good as Robbie Marcon's.
No, but Marcon's car is also, he's got a bit of a handful in that as well. He, as you remember, ran pretty wide and almost put it into the sand down in turn 1 on the last lap, which allowed Koberstein under him initially. But yeah, they're both struggling, I think, out there at the moment. The race lead still getting larger and larger. Fastest lap on that last lap by Brad Bowley, a 1:23.8, which is well and truly off the pace of these cars in the dry. So it's very slippery out there as we watch him just getting a little sideways through turn 1 and exiting there across through the puddle in turn 2, gets sideways again, and lots of good car control that we're seeing at the moment from all of these guys on the circuit.
It's certainly a lot of the cars are aquaplaning from that puddle that's on the little kink to the left-hand side in turn number 2. And then, of course, that upsets the car as they go uphill towards turn number 3 and across the top of the bus stop section. But Brad Bowley out onto the ripple strip, and you can see the amount of water in the ripple strips there itself. It looks like a bit of a swimming pool up the top there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if there's something that's gone down there through the S's and up to the bus stop section there in front of the Asphalt Tech sign, because they do tend to get pretty slippery. Worked Rick Gill off at the end of the pit straight here. He's going to be able to back out of there, I'd suggest. He's not out end of the sand, so unusual to see Rick Gill off the circuit.
2.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining for this one, and Anthony Game, unfortunately not a starter in this one in car number 40, but it's all Brock Bowley at the moment. Car number 49 from the southwest of Western Australia.
I suspect that means that they're going to be running Reggie Ralph's car later on in the Enduro, because maybe they've put car number 40 away for the day so they can concentrate on car 41. Look at the sideways
Checkered
move.
flags for some reason.
Oh, and Callow off at the bottom of the hill as well. So turn 7 and Jackson Callow's gone wide and lost it. He'll get back out of there again as the checkered flag flies. So that's a win to Brock Bowley from Gary Hills back to Vince Chiella, and then Clark Jackson Callow just recovering at the moment for 5th position. Then back to Marcon, who finishes just in front of Michael Koberstein.
And Daniel Karukin.
Yep, and we're just waiting for Reggie Ralph now to come across the line in front of Nick Lorcan, who has impressed me this weekend so far. He's driven very well as he gets on the white line on the exit of turn 7. Gets a bit squirrely there, but he comes across the line there in 10th position, and he's going to finish just in front of, it's not going to be Rick Gill, I think it's going to be Parham.
Yeah, Parham, because of the spin at the end of the pit straight here for Rick Gill.
So that was quite entertaining. Oh, we've got a Karukin off at the top of the hill here.
Yep.
That's unusual. I would have thought that he'd seen the checkered flag. So
I'm wondering whether there may be something down over there.
That's what I said a few laps ago. I think something may be down over there, and he was very lucky not to tip that car over, to be honest.
He cannot even get the car back out onto the circuit, so he's going to have to try and take a run-up to get back up and onto the circuit.
I think he's seen the checkered flag. I think he would be better off just to let that car just come down to the bottom and just come around the outside of that wall that's down there and come back through turn 7.
That's right. We are here back at pit lane after lunch. Demelza and Jamie coming with you. Now, we have the Saloons that did race a little bit earlier, and Brock Bowley took out first place. You've got to be happy with that for the first race of the day.
Yeah, definitely really happy with that. We haven't done a huge amount of racing in the car this year, and before that in 4 years especially. So to come out, tricky conditions and be quick straight out the box, something really happy with. I was a bit worried I might be a bit rusty today, but thankfully blowing it off pretty quickly.
But the weather itself is so bad, really. I mean, you would have had to remain pretty fluid when it came to your sort of game plan for the race today. So obviously you had to deal with it as you sort of felt it in your wheels, for example. So how did you deal with it with a new car, with a car that you haven't actually been driving that regularly for such a long period of time?
So firstly, Dad and Gaz just nailed the setup in the car. Just from first lap in qualifying, just felt like a dream to drive. Thankfully, with doing like wet racing in the Saloon cars back in the past, and then also karting days and that, I have a little bit of a feel of like the conditions, where the grip is, stuff like that. So I was able to just chase that, and you actually sometimes see in a race or quali, I'll change my lines up a little bit and just try and find where the grip is throughout a race or a qualifying session.
Now, you just mentioned you did come up from karts. How long have you been doing Saloons for?
So we did Saloons we started karts when I was 7, so that was about 20 years ago. I'm 27 now. Did that for about 10 to 15 years, jumped into Saloons in 2017. Then in 2021, went to the TA2, and then last year for the Nationals, jumped back in the Saloon, and then running it now, so doing odd meetings here and there where we can.
And what's the attraction for you with sedans? I mean, why sedans specifically for you?
Dad's always raced the Saloon cars like right from the early days when it used to only be the VN, so that was always the attraction for us. And then obviously cost effective, makes it easy, and also can come up, have a bit of fun, have a good weekend. We obviously got Gaz and that helping us out as well, and bang for buck, they're a pretty fun car to drive as well, especially in these conditions.
Now, you were just saying Dad's involved as well. It's a little bit of a family affair for you. Who's part of your support crew?
Yeah, so obviously got Dad, got Sheree, she's Dad's partner. Weren't able to make it today, but also got Mum, the girlfriend, Chloe, and my brother Sam. They pop up to meetings where we can. Jaden, who's stepbrother, he's popped up this weekend. And then obviously we've got Gary, who, while he's racing himself, does a lot to help us out, which is really, really appreciated.
Brock, have a great day today, mate. Great success, further success, I should say. I hope you achieve what you want to achieve, especially in this sort of weather. And we're going to go to a break right now.
Round 4 of the WA Sporting Car Club Championship, proudly lubricated by Valvoline. Saloon Cars Racing, proudly presented by Rightway Industrial, Bailey Brewing Company, Fox Roofing WA, Adrenaline Performance and Fabrication, Word of Mouth Signs, and Auto One Morley.